All right, we ready to go? All right, well, I appreciate y'all coming today, and what we're going to do is sort of update you on the shooting incident that happened last night a little before 2 o'clock at Wings Cafe, which is located at 2822 Bloomfield Drive. Last night about 1:55, according to witnesses, and we also have some video that sort of substantiates what we've been able to discover with evidence. A fight erupts near the entrance just inside the doorway of the Wings Cafe. Shortly after the fight grows from a fist fight, individuals start throwing items at each other. And at that point, some individuals pulled out firearms and gunfire erupted. And in this melee of gunfire, there were 6 people who were struck. Corey Hollingshed, George Henley, both of these individuals were struck and killed by gunfire. Derek Jackson, Nastasia Taylor, Marquez Patterson, and Jaquez Foster also were injured by gunfire in this incident that happened. Now, from what we've been able to determine, George Henley, he was a DJ at the club. Both he and the female, Nastasia Taylor, seemed to be just innocent bystanders trying to get out of the way of the hail of gunfire. This whole situation took less than 5 minutes from the beginning altercation to when the gunfire erupted and when the people were shot. It's a tragic situation. Sheriff's Office patrol responded. Our gang unit, our criminal investigations persons unit has been working ever since this happened constantly. We're interviewing suspects. We're developing leads all the way. We feel like we've identified the players, and hopefully we'll have some warrants here very soon for those that are involved in this situation. What I want to show you now is a couple of videos that kind of show you the sort of senselessness of this and how, and I'm going to kind of run through it and tell you that of some places that some other actions could have been taken, and just show how these things sort of transpire. So Paul, if you'll show the first one. This is video from the store, or from the club, that shows, you can see the fight. They're beginning to have a disagreement. They're fighting. They're carrying on. You see the security guard trying to maintain order. He's trying to separate the parties. There's a blow being passed. You see the security guard trying to pepper spray everybody. In this situation, it doesn't seem to stop. That right there is a stop sign. Nobody's been shot yet. Yes, there's been some licks passed, but nobody's been shot yet. That's a stop sign. Somebody could have regrouped and decided we can do something else here. Now show the next one, Paul. The next one, that's the next. Now you see them. They could have stopped, but they didn't stop. Can you show the part where it shows up to where the shooting starts, Paul? The other clip that shows them right before the shooting starts. Okay. As I said, there's stop signs that were stopped, but no, they have to come out and start shooting. And we have the photos of those, and like I say, there's 2 of these individuals that are involved in this that we think are, you turn the light back on, Randy, okay, that we feel are innocent. And then we have a sketch there of the crime scene from what our crime scene investigators have done. You know, one of the things that we see too often in our society, that when conflict, short tempers and firearms mix, mayhem results. Now, there are 2 people who will never see another Christmas, and 4 people whose lives are forever changed, all because of the criminal and cowardly use of a gun. Now, I'm going to tell you, there's 2 places that people that perpetrate this kind of violence wind up. One of them is jail, and the other one is hell. And we got to do something about conflict resolution, that people need to know when the stop signs come up and you're having conflicts with others, that gunfire doesn't have to be brought into it, and that there are other ways to solve this. Because we're gonna find out who's involved in this, and there are gonna be people that's gonna be brought to jail for it. And so that's why we wanna have anybody that was there last night that can give us any more information. They can call our investigators. They can call through at 751-7500, or they can call Crime Stoppers and contact us and give us any information that we need. We're fortunate that we have the video from the club that's able to sort of give us a good accounting of what happened. Without that, we would have probably been hampered in our efforts. But still, the video gives us an idea. We're still trying to identify exactly who all we're seeing in the video. As you can see, it was pretty chaotic in this club when all this thing started happening. So we want to try to figure out what perpetrated this violence, what precipitated it, and get to the bottom of it. But we have some people identified, and we're following through. The district attorney's office has been working with our investigators to get this thing solved and to get the appropriate warrants followed up. So these things, we have to be very methodical in it and cover all of our bases as we do the investigation. So with that, I'll take some questions if we got any.
You say that the Mr. Henley and the lady, they were innocent bystanders. What about the other four? Do you know their roles in this?
We're looking into that. Some of those we've been able to identify that they may have been involved in some of the shooting, or that they may have been involved in some of the altercation which led up to the shooting. So they may not be completely without blame in this situation, but from what we've been able to determine so far, those two that I mentioned were innocent in just trying to get out of the way,
Do you know what led to the fight? Any motive behind the initial?
We're looking at it. We're thinking that this is sort of an ongoing situation between a couple of groups. Maybe it really boils down to personal animosity. These folks have sort of had some conflict in some other establishments over the last week or so, to where it sort of culminated to last night, to where that it ended up in gunfire.
You say know the signs, know the stop signs. I mean, obviously you pointed them out in the video. What could a person do if they were in the restaurant, just a person, or the nightclub, just enjoying themselves? What can a bystander do?
Well, once the gunfire erupts, about the best thing you can do, hopefully, is just get down and hope that you don't get shot. That's why I say that the stop signs are with those people who have the guns. That's the ones who need to heed the stop signs and to think about before you go to a situation. These people showed up at this situation with guns. You know, whether they intended at the very beginning to use them at the very start or not, they did bring them out. So they could have made another choice. You know, if they wanted to mix it up with fist fights, that's one thing. But you know, the firearm is used all too often as the great equalizer here.
Are the conditions of the other four still the same, or are they still unstable?
Yeah, still unstable. I think one of the individuals, Patterson, right, he's out of the hospital, isn't he? One of the individuals has already been released, but the rest of them are in stable condition.
And have all the families been notified?
Yes, isn't that right? Yes, the families that have been involved have been notified. We're working with them.
Is this place now considered, maybe after what happened earlier this year with the couple that was shot, this gets more on your radar, or how would you describe?
This place has been on our radar. In fact, I have two commissioners here, Commissioner Al Tillman and Commissioner Virgil Watkins, that will come up in a minute and talk about some things that we may want to do for this. This place has been implicated in too many situations. Our drug unit has gotten word that there's you know, some improper activities going on there possibly. It's sort of intersected itself at several different crimes. You remember a few years ago, an individual was shot and killed in the parking lot. Earlier this summer, some people who had been at the bar earlier were involved in a homicide. So this place here has become a a hive of hoodlums, I think. And so we need to just keep an eye on that and see what we can do legally through the government to maybe shut it down or get them to fix their ways.
Have you spoken to the owners about these situations that have been happening there?
Over the time, I know the owner. I think there's several people that know the owner and have talked to him about some of the situations, some of the concerns that we have. I will say that the owner has been cooperative with us to give us the videos and to work with us to get this. So I don't think he wants to have his place be the scene of a homicide, but there are things that are allowed to go on there and maybe some controls that are not put in place that lead one thing to another to where the people lose their lives in the club. Now, I think if Commissioner Tillman and